I made my first $10,000 as a copywriter by writing and building sales pages. If you can write a killer sales page and then build it too, you will have no problem landing multiple $1,000 clients every single month. So in this video, here's what I want to show you. I want to show you the exact step-by-step process that I've used to build multiple 5-figure a month sales pages and do it quickly. I'm also going to show you the best paid and free sales page building softwares that all of the pros use and swear by. And then I'm going to give you my one-of-a-kind KJ proprietary tricks for designing sales pages that absolutely crush your competitors and look amazing. And as always, I'm going to give you an insane free resource for building sales pages at the end of the video too. So let's rock. So let's talk about how to build a 6-figure sales page in this video. It's going to be amazing. If you can build these sales pages, guys, you can make so much money because no one knows how to do this. If you can do it, you'll be way ahead of the curve. So let's get right into it. So first things first, we need to have a hosting software. We need somewhere to actually host these websites on, host these sales pages. And so what we want to look for is landing page builders. Now, yes, you can build a sales page on a classic website builder kind of website, but it's going to be way easier, a lot faster, and just a lot more efficient if you look for a landing page builder. These are things that are specifically made to actually host sales pages. So we have a couple of these here that you can choose from. And honestly, what's going to happen most likely is your clients are going to already have one of these softwares they use, and you will need to come on and build them a sales page on any of these softwares, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So yeah, but these are the ones you want to look for. We have Kajabi, Thinkific, ClickFunnels Classic, Go High Level, Card, and Funnels.so. So my favorite paid option is ClickFunnels Classic. It is insane. It is amazing. I love using ClickFunnels Classic. The only thing you need to be of note here is that do not use ClickFunnels 2.0. ClickFunnels 2.0 is terrible. I do not know why. I do not know what they were smoking when they made the 2.0 version, but the Classic is perfect. So just use ClickFunnels Classic. That's what we're going to be going over today. I'm showing you the tutorials. But yeah, you can use any of these. And ClickFunnels Classic has a 14-day trial and then $97 a month. So it's honestly the cheapest version, I still think. Funnels.so, it's another great option from Gust & Son. It's a Go High Level white label, which basically means like it's Go High Level, but they rebranded it and they added lots of other features. They have a 30-day free trial. It has like a free course on how to actually use it inside. So I highly recommend this as well. If that's where I started on was Funnels.so. But like I said, ClickFunnels Classic is the most kind of like industry standard for like info products and stuff. Like I said, my favorite free option is Funnels.so. You have a 30-day free trial. So yeah, those are the hosting softwares you can choose from. Go and look at all these to see which one matches what you're trying to do the most. But yeah, so first we must have the software. Once you have a software, we can actually start building your page. So let's talk about it. So how landing page builders works is they use this setup, okay? So it starts with a section, which is the biggest kind of like background of the entire page. You have a section here. Inside the section, you will have rows. Inside of those rows, you can choose whether you have 1 column or 2 column. Inside of those rows and columns, you have elements. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what this looks like in the builder, but it helps to kind of go over this before we get into it because you get a better understanding of how this stuff actually works without being so complicated. So basically what you do first is you create a section, and then that section is going to house all of your like rows and columns and stuff. So you can't actually put anything in the section itself. It's just the background. This is kind of how you separate different sections of your page, right? Next, you will have rows, and you can just do a 1-column row where you can start putting elements in, or you can do 2-column, 3-column, 4-columns. If you're going to do something like testimonials and have 3 of them in a row, you want to do a 3-column row. So yeah, it's very simple to understand once you kind of see how it works, but it can be very confusing on your first time. Let me tell you, I got so lost trying to build my first sales page, but this video should help you guys a ton. So let's go ahead. What does it look like to actually put in like a headline? If you're going to start from scratch, how do you actually put the headline in using kind of the layout of how these landing pages work? So the first thing you're going to do is create a brand new section. Very simple. Then you're going to create a 1-column row because it's going to be in the center, just 1 column. Then you're going to create a headline element inside of that row. And so very, very simple. I'll show you guys how to do this in the builder in a second. But yeah, now you kind of see how it works. You just build a section, then a row, then the element. So whatever it is you're trying to put in there, there's your element. And then I kind of want to go over padding and top margin. So the way these website builders work, these landing page builders work, is they allow you to have padding. So basically like the space in between different objects, and also top margin. So you'll see in ClickFunnels, it has top margin where you can just literally just increase the size on top. And then padding allows you to increase like how much space there is, between like the element and the actual section that it's in. So once again, I'll show you guys, but it helps to just explain it here. And then we're gonna go over some insane, like crazy techniques I'll show you guys how to use to make your stuff look insane. But for right now, let's go ahead and jump into ClickFunnels and just start building our page. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna go up here to ClickFunnels and go to Funnels. We're going to build a brand new funnel. What you can do is you can use all these templates, but honestly, these are kind of outdated. So what you are rather going to do is just do a custom funnel because you need to understand how this stuff works on your own. So let's do create a custom funnel. We'll say test funnel 2, just in case I've done that before. And we'll start building. Right. So inside each funnel, you're going to have steps. So let's say that you're doing like a VSL and you have an opt-in page before the VSL, then you have the VSL, then you have a thank you page. Over here is when you can add in those new steps. So each step is a new page. So like you just want to add in the steps in the funnel. And so for now, we'll just keep it simple. We're just going to open a simple template. I don't know if you can actually do like one from scratch. You always have to use a template, I think. So what I do is I just select a template and then I'll just completely delete everything and start from scratch. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's open this puppy up. Right, and we will start deleting everything. Okay, everything is gone now. As you can see, all we can do is add a new section. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna click add new section. You can change it to be small, medium, wide, or full width. I always just choose full width. I don't really know why you do anything other. So then we can add in a row, just like we talked about. So now we have our section. Now we can add in a row. Let's do a 1-column row. Now we can start adding elements into that row. So you see that we now have a section. We now have a row that's 1 column. Now we can add an element. So let's go ahead and let's drop a headline in here. And on the bottom of each element, you can like add another element below it just by doing that very easily. So we're going to add a new element here. We'll do like a little sub headline. And then we'll add another element down here and let's just do a video. So you can see on the right hand side, this is where you can add in all of the different elements that you want. So we have an image list, divider, FAQ, an icon, the countdown, surveys, video, all this good stuff. So we're gonna just go ahead and be simple. Let's add a little video here. So now we have a very basic page here. We have a section, we have a video, we have a headline, sub-headline. Very, very simple, but we took us like, 5 seconds to do that? So super easy. So now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and get a little fancy with this stuff. Let me show you how this works. So we're going to add in a headline. Click here to make $1 million instantly. How about that for easy, safe, and big? Am I right? Don't worry. This is not a scam. There we go. Perfect. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and mess around with these sections. So how do you actually change the background of how this stuff looks? Let's go to settings. Let's add a little top margin here. Give us some room. And let's go with background color. And we're just going to give it a nice kind of dark gray here. We'll actually make it a little bit darker. There we go. And now let's change the color of the text. So same thing here. You just want to go to the element you want to change. Go to your settings. And you can increase the font size. We can change the color to be white. We can do bold here. We can do anything we want. We'll go to the subheadline, do the same exact thing. We'll actually do bold. We'll do like some orange. And we will make this bold. And we will make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Now what we'll do is we'll just add a very simple button. So you go to add new element and we'll do button here. So now you can see our button. And what we can do is we can make this button, we can use the themes here in ClickFunnels. So different programs will have different themes, but we just want to make this thing blue. Now we'll change the color of blue to actually be orange to match our other orange. And yeah, there we go. Let me show you guys kind of how to change the fonts and all that stuff. Over here, we can see that the button is fluid. We can change the button to make it a lot bigger. And so let's actually talk about how would we make this button like custom size, because this is where things get a little tricky inside of these programs. Is you want to do something that you think would be simple, but it ends up being a little bit difficult. So let me show you how you would make this button just as big as you wanted to make it. So what we'll do is we'll add a new row here. Okay, so a brand new row, one column, and we're going to actually take this button and put it into this row. So we'll drag it down here. Right, so now it is in this brand new row. So what we're going to do here is, instead of being in the row with all these other elements, it's in its own row. So we can go to settings. We can change the width of this to be whatever we want. But first, let's go ahead and change the button. So now if we go to settings on the button and we go to advanced, we can change it to be fill width. So now the button's going to fill the width of the entire section, or the entire row that it's in. So now what we can do is, let's go ahead and go back to the row itself. We can change this width to be whatever we want. So now we have a perfectly sized button to however big you want to make it. You can also change the text in here, which will also change the size without you even having to do that. But yeah, very, very simple. So how do you actually set an action for this button? It's very easy. You just click set action. You can change this to go to open the pop-up. It can submit like an order. So if you're having, like, if you have a form and it has enter your email, all this, you can click this button. You can have it go to a different website. You can have it go to next step in the funnel. So like if you had all the other steps like we talked about in the very beginning, you can click this button and go to the next step. So whether it be like the VSL or if you have an opt-in, it goes to the next step. Yeah, very simple. You also have it scroll to a certain section, which you can input here. So yeah, those are all the button actions. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. So let's go back. So before we go any further, before we get advanced, let me tell you kind of how to edit this on mobile. So obviously you want to optimize your page for mobile and for desktop. All you have to do is click mobile up here. Now you'll see what it looks like on mobile. Now you can change these elements by going to settings, and you can edit the mobile size. So it says 40, but honestly, if you click 40, sometimes it changes what it actually looks like. Yeah, you always want to like double check every single element you have when you go to do mobile, because it can be glitchy if you don't set it yourself. So we'll like change that to be, 29 looks good. This one will change the mobile settings to be 20, something like that. So yeah, now it's looking better on here. And now we can go back to desktop and good to go. And you can also change which elements you can see on mobile and desktop. So you see down here that we can change this to showing on all platforms, or just mobile, or just desktop. So pretty cool there. All right, so that is kind of the basics of how to do that. Now let's talk about how do you add videos. Very simple. Go to settings. You go to you can either custom embed a video, or you can just go to YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, any of these other ones. You just click, say you have a YouTube video, you just click YouTube, and you just want to link the YouTube video right there, and you are good to go. Always make sure that you're saving every couple of minutes, because I'm telling you, the worst feeling ever is building a sales page, forgetting to save it, and then it crashes. So make sure you're always saving. Very, very simple. So now let's go over how to add like a whole nother section and a whole nother part to this. We'll just go down here. You kind of have to just be really, really careful to click it perfectly. Boom, there we go. We'll do a full width section. And we're going to add a brand new row in here. We'll do one column, and we'll do a sub headline, and then we'll add in some text. Let's say we're actually going to start writing the copy. So here's some text down here. We have our section. We can go ahead and change the color of this section to be a little bit different. Give us some variation. Let's say we want this to be like an orange, a little light orange. There we go. And let's go ahead and make this look a lot better. Let's do you won't believe this ... And guys, I'm making this terrible on purpose, okay? Don't roast me. Don't roast me. All right, so you won't believe this. We'll go ahead and make this font size a lot bigger. As you can see, it's pretty close to that next section. So what we can do is we can add some top margin to kind of bring it down. Now, how do we actually get this text to look very clean and have it center aligned like on my sales page? What we can do is we can go to settings. We can make this font size a good bit bigger, and then we can go to settings of the entire the entire row, and we can have it be like this. So we can change, as you see, it'll change the width of this blue row right here. So we'll change it to be like this. We'll take our text and we will go ahead and left align that. Let us left align the text here. If I can figure out where to do that. Oh, here it is. So you want to highlight the text, left aligned. Perfect. As you can see, it doesn't look great, but if we space this out by actually doing like spaces how we would with copy, boom, you can do that. You can also change the line height by going in here, going to advanced, and changing this to whatever you want it to be. So 1.5, whatever. Also, you have a ton of other effects as well. Very simple. So here's how you kind of do a center line text like I have on my sales pages, where it makes it super easy to read. All right, so now let's get into some more of the advanced stuff. So let me go ahead and save this, and we're going to pull up Photoshop and get down to business. All right, so we just went over all the basics to building a sales page, but how do you make a drop dead gorgeous sales page? The sales page that makes everyone ask, how did he do that? How did he build that? That's what we're gonna go over right now. So first thing we're gonna talk about is custom text. So the way this works is you wanna go back in here, and let's say that most of these fonts are absolutely terrible. Like, let's be real. If you click on these fonts, like, they just look so childish and very just low quality. So as you can see, all these sales pages you probably see online have terrible fonts like this one, absolutely atrocious. So how do we add a custom font to make our sales pages really stand out and look super professional? Well, it's actually pretty simple. All you're gonna do is go to settings, go to custom CSS. Actually, first, what we're gonna do is we're going to have to, let's save this. Let's go back to ClickFunnels actually. And what we need to do is we need to go to account settings. We need to go to digital assets. And now you're going to upload these new assets. So what you're going to do is you're going to upload your font. So basically just new asset, upload the font file. And now you have the font inside of here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just copy on the right, copy asset path, come back to your ClickFunnels. Now we're going to go back to editing your page. And all you have to do is do some simple CSS to make this work. So what you're gonna do is you come up here, go to settings, custom CSS. Right, so I've included the CSS code inside of my copywriting starter pack. All you wanna do is come down here, go to building sales page resources. Let me make this blue so you guys can see it. And very simple here, you just want to copy this custom font CSS. We're gonna copy this, come in here. Now, what you want to do is you want to copy this asset path and put it in here right where I have mine. So this is going to be custom to what font you put in. So you want to copy asset path, come back here, post it inside of this green in between these commas, right where mine is posted, and you want to put the name of the font at the top right here, and now you are good to go. So what we do is come back to our font that you want to change and get rid of it. And now change it to just be content font. So now as you can see, we have a very, very clean text that we have here, which is the SF Pro Bold, which I use for all of my sales pages. And now we have clean fonts, which looks a lot better. So you can do the same with this font as well. Come down here and just change it to content font, which I think it already is. So now it looks super clean. But yeah, that's how you add custom fonts to make your pages really stand out. Now let's talk about how do we actually highlight text. So if you go to my school sales page, you can see that we have text highlighted. It looks really clean. It helps stand out like the big belief statements. So how do we actually do that? How do we highlight text? Well, it's actually pretty simple. All you want to do is come back to this. We're going to open CSS again, and we're going to come back to the starter pack, which you guys have in the description. You want to copy this CSS code. We're going to post it in here. Now what we need to do, before this actually works, you want to come down to your element that you actually want to highlight stuff in, go to settings, go down to get CSS info, copy this ID selector. This basically just tells CSS what section you actually want to be highlighting in. We'll close out of that, go back to custom CSS, change the start of this to be the right section, so TMP paragraph. And then we have B here because B tells us that every time we click bold, that's what we want to highlight. And then you can change the color code right here. So basically you just want to look up what color code you want to highlight with and then change the code in here. Very simple. And now what we can do is come over here and we can go inside of this text and bold stuff. And if we bold it, look, it's highlighted. So if you want to change the color of this, it's very simple. All you got to do is come over here, go to settings, and go to, we'll just take the text color, and you can change to see what color you want it to be. So if we want to highlight it like a pinkish, we can just copy this color code, come back out. Let me change that to black again so it looks cool. Now we want to go back up to the custom CSS and change this color code to be pink. And now it's or red. Now it's highlighted in red. So that's very simple, and you can just bold things or unbold things to highlight it. Super easy. And if you want to keep that setting and highlight something later, you can literally just copy, you can clone this, but as you'll see, it's not bolded. So what you have to do is go back in here, go to settings, get the new CSS info, copy that, go back up to settings, custom CSS. We'll put this here as a placeholder, and then we will copy the code for the actual highlighting. Oh, screwed it up. Boom, there we go. Now that section is now highlighted. So you have to do this for every single section you want to use, or you can just keep typing inside of this section, and boom, there you go. It's bold. Super easy. So now you know how to get custom text and get this highlighted text inside of ClickFunnels, which makes your pages stand out like crazy, guys. Just having this clean, the clean fonts that I have on all of my sales pages really sets you apart, and it makes you look a lot more professional. It makes yourself look good. So now, going back to this, how do we actually get these custom PNG assets? So these assets you're seeing right here on my sales page that make everything look really, really clean. How do we do that? Well, let's go ahead and open up Photoshop, and we'll show you how. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build this cool little background with these effects, and let's do that real quick. So what we're going to do is go to new file. You can do this on Canva, you can do this on Photoshop, anywhere that you can edit photos, guys. It's not that hard. You want to do 1920 by 1080. 72 resolution, and click create. Now we have our page here. What we're going to do is we're just going to fill this with black using whatever photo editing software you have. And then what you're going to do is create a new layer and just take a simple brush, choose which color you want. We'll do this nice orange, and we can make this brush super big and make sure that it is very kind of faded. So boom, there we go. So now what we'll do is we will just take this and give us some hits of color like that. Oh, that's too big. Yeah, so pretty rough, but you get the point. Just do that. And then what you can do is you can lower the opacity to make it less noticeable. So very simple. And you guys can get creative and build backgrounds however you want. Now all you're going to do is you're going to file. You're going to export. Export as quick PNG. We'll do this straight to the desktop. Boom, good to go. Now what you're going to do is come back into ClickFunnels, and we'll go to this section. Make sure you're on this section, so like the big background part. Go to settings. You want to go to image URL. We're going to upload an image from our desktop, which would be this. Boom, good to go. And now, if we double click this, we now have a background. Look at that, guys. How sick is that? Very, very cool. So now you have a custom background that looks great. It looks like it adds a little personal touch to and gives some environment to your sales page. Super cool, super cool. So now let me think about anything else you guys really need to know. Oh yeah, so let me show you how I did this mock-up. So what you're gonna do is, let's do Mac mock-up. That is not what I wanted to see. MacBook mock-up. You can find a simple MacBook here. We will just open a new tab, and we will drag this into our Photoshop. That did not work. One second. There we go. Now you have a MacBook inside of here. We can remove the background, which did not work at all. So what you can do is you can just copy these things out. I'm going to show you super fast how this works, but you just do that. Do this. Obviously, you want to be a lot more careful if you're doing your own, like I've done on my own sales page, but do that, make selection. And then we can just either delete it or create a layer mask doing that. And you can refine the selection by grabbing a brush and just painting over what you don't want to see. So all this extra white, we just want to get rid of. There you go. Not pretty, but you get the point. You see how to do it. Now what we can do is we can add a picture inside of this MacBook if you want to. All you want to do is like copy, get rid of the actual screen. So we'll do that. We will also paint over our layer mask to get rid of this. Now the screen is gone, and you can input any picture you want into the back of this. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go, we'll just take a picture out of DPS. As you see, check out one of our guys. He got his first client today, 14 days after joining at 15 years old. Amazing, 2 hours ago. Amazing win. We'll go to Classroom. We'll just like copy this. Boom. Good to go. We'll drag this in here. We will fit it behind the monitor screen, which I can't really see. There we go. We'll drag this behind the computer. And then we will just basically take this image, fit it to our screen, erase the rest of it. Like I said, guys, this is very rough. You're going to want to spend your time making this look perfect, but for now, you get the point. And so now we're going to take both these images, make them a little bit smaller, and we'll add a little bit of color behind it by creating a new layer. And let's just do a splash of orange right behind the computer. Boom, there we go. Now we'll file, export, save as PNG, mockup. We'll go back to ClickFunnels. We will come down here and let's say we want to add the mockup in this new element here. Actually, we'll do a new section. New one column row, add element, image. Here we have our image. We want to go to settings, go to picture. Let's add a mockup. Actually, here's an example of what I did. So here we have the mockup that we made. Boom, there it is. And Jordan, shout out to Jordan. He was hiding in this mockup example I did for my coaching guys. But all you want to do is go to this. You can change how big you want the picture to be. So we can change it to 100, or we can make it even bigger. We can go to 500. Now you see you can change the size of what your mockup looks like. So that's how you add custom pictures and really add that personal touch to your sales page and make it look juicy like mine is. So let me show you guys one last final tip that'll make you really stand out. If you look on top of this page here, you see that I have my own custom like website picture. I don't forget what they call it, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna make one of these. It's very simple. Open up Canva or Photoshop, go to new, go to 60 by 60 pixels, just like that. We will just make this background black super fast. Then we'll do a simple, let's do KJ. We'll make this white. We will increase the size. This is basically you just want to do like a basic logo here or some text or something. Let's go ahead and bring these together. Boom, there we go. So here we have KJ. We'll make it as big as possible. Put it in the center. And now what we'll do is we're just going to export this. Do logo. Come back to ClickFunnels. Now you're going to want to go back to digital assets inside of your account settings. You want to new asset. You want to choose a file. We will choose logo. We will name this logo favicon example. Click add. Now what you're going to do again is you're going to find what you just did, what you just uploaded, click on the three dots, copy asset path, go back to your sales funnel. We're going to go back to the actual kind of preview page here. You want to go to settings, go to favicon URL, copy that URL, paste that URL here, make sure to scroll all the way down, save and update settings. And now if we actually go to this, I don't know if it'll do it because we don't have a domain set up. Here's where you can add a domain. You just want to add or edit domains and click your domain here. Go back to your steps and click on this. So as you can see, well, I have a different favicon here, but you see how it'll add that to the top to your page. Let's see if we can get that to actually, it might not work because I don't have an actual domain for it. But another interesting thing you need to do is basically go back to edit page and make sure you do this because it'll be embarrassing if you don't do this, guys. Go to settings at the top, go to general, and get rid of the affiliate badge. We don't want to show that like ugly made by ClickFunnels thing. And here you can click preview just to see your page previewed. Very simple. So yeah, guys, that is actually how you do that. That is how you build a sales page. That's how you make a sales page look great. If you have any questions, let me know. And like I said, if you want any bonus resources, go look at my this starter pack I gave you guys. There's tons of resources. You can go through the sales page resources, sales page database as well. Basically, all you're going to do is like message me KSP on Instagram, and it'll automatically send you all the resources to that from the IG. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you learned something, let me know, and see you guys in the next one.